Hello, it's Aaliyah from the Song of the Winds. I hope you're doing really well. Today's video is another mystery deck. So if this is the first time that you've watched my channel, a mystery deck is a deck that my husband has purchased for me. It could be an oracle deck or a tarot deck. I've got no idea what it is. And then I unbox it for you and give you my first impressions. When we first started doing this, it was actually called Monthly Mystery Deck, and I was doing this once a month. But we recently made the decision to change the way that we were doing it and step away from getting the mass-produced decks so often and try and support independent artists. So most of the decks that I have now for the mystery deck are all independently produced. And of course, if you're a tarot or an oracle collector, you'll know that that means that they can be infrequent, which is why I often joke that this is infrequent mystery deck, because quite often, as with any sort of publication, there is the expected date that it is to be released, and then there's always some sort of delay when it comes to the printing process or shipping or something like that. So often there is a big gap between when I can film these videos, and then sometimes they come really close together. It all depends on when those decks become available. And while I've got you, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're feeling so inclined, I love getting comments, so please feel free to leave a comment below. Without further ado, let's unbox this deck. Okay, so if you had watched my last unboxing video, there was actually two decks that came in the one order. So my husband put it aside for me, and that's what I'm unboxing today. So it's not in its original box, but I assure you that I have not looked at it. So this is it here. All right, let's open it up and see what's inside. Okay, alrighty. I can't quite see because I'm sort of hovering over the camera. My eyes aren't that great. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, I think I've looked at pictures of this one. Ooh, Anima Mundi Tarot. Ooh, all right, let's have a look. It's got the word animal in there, kind of, so I'm keen already. A little small guidebook. That's a very small guidebook, isn't it? Okay, we'll have a little flip through that in a second. Let's take a look at the cards. Oh, the card backs are nice. Wow. Okay. Ooh, do love me some foiled edges. So nice. Oh. Ooh, so it's very pagan. You can tell when something's independently published because the cards are out of order. Oh, that's nice. That's a good death. That's beautiful. Oh yes, you can see where the animals are featured. Oh, this is a really pretty deck. Although I'm a little bit surprised that there's just so much negative space there, you know, when they've gone and put the card numbers up the top. You know, I just would have been nice to bring it all the way to the edges and have gone borderless. Oops, I really can't see what I'm doing. I'm looking through the viewfinder and not at what I'm really doing. I don't normally film like this, so I am awkward. Okay, what else have we got? Yep. Oh, that's lovely. I love that crab. I might just quickly show you all the cards. That might be fun. I'll speed it up. So I didn't know this, but Anima Mundi, or Mundi, I don't know how to say it, unfortunately, it's a term that refers to the world soul, so it's what connects us all. And according to Wikipedia, according to several systems of thought, it's an intrinsic connection between all living things on the planet which relate to our world in much the same way as the soul is connected to the human body. So that's cool. So they were painted in 2017 and the artist is Megan Wirewedden. I'm not good at saying names, sorry. I should be a lot better because my name's kind of unusual. And they were hand painted in acrylics, which you may not have been able to see on camera. When you get a little bit closer to them and you can really study them, you can see how, you can see the canvas underneath them. Like it's really beautiful. Okay, so standout cards for me. I really enjoy the Magician. And the reason for that is it's of course based on the, you know, Rider-Waite-Smith system, but I think it just clearly really visually shows, very basically, how this card is about, you know, mastery and connection of all of those different, you know, aspects and elements of the tarot suits. The Tower's a volcano, which I know volcanoes have been around forever and they've always, you know, erupted, but considering how much volcanic activity there is at the moment and how catastrophic it is, you know, just we're all just sitting around wondering when that great big one under Yellowstone National Park is going to go and what's been happening in Hawaii. Yeah, it's just a really interesting way of showing how everything can just change in a split second, and you know, it can just be really catastrophic, and it's okay to be truly deeply affected by a tower moment. Sometimes it's a bit too blasé. I think with a tower moment, it's like, you had a bad day. It's like, no, tower moments can be everything's fucked. You know, you will get past it, but yeah. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles. I just love the bees in that symbology, just working together, hive mind. You know, everyone has their own little part to play. They connect and communicate on a different level, achieve something greater than themselves. I just think a bee is a really apt choice for that card. And with the Lovers, I had to actually look this up in the guidebook, and what I did notice is that the guidebook sometimes talks about why that particular animal was selected for that card, and sometimes it doesn't, which is always a little bit, it sort of bugs me a bit with animal decks, because I don't think you can just slap an animal on it and have it, you know, really demonstrate what added meaning and insight there is to that card. Like, I think sometimes you need to be really transparent about why you chose a beaver, why you chose a butterfly, you know, just like let us know. So with the Lovers, it does actually tell you. So it's a red-crowned crane and two red-crowned cranes in a mating dance. This is a species like many other bird species that mates monogamously for life. So that's the reason why that particular animal was chosen. But it's inconsistent throughout the deck, you know, why the animals are chosen. The Devil card. I like this because while the Suit of Pentacles has a pentacle as its symbol throughout the deck, this was the only one that has got a reversed pentacle. So I think that just sort of, it's like it's saying in a really pictorial way that a devil moment is quite inward, it's quite base level, it's, you know, we're very much, particularly with things like addiction, we're very much focused on, you know, our short-term wants and desires, not thinking about the long-term effects of those decision-making. It feels very human, like it's very of the flesh. So that's another added insight that I like for this particular devil card. The Ten of Cups, you know me and the Ten of Cups. I love this card, and the guidebook doesn't actually say what type of like fish, mammal, whatever we're looking at, because the image is really indistinct in a lot of ways. Like sometimes I think I'm looking at a fish, and then sometimes it could be a dolphin, and then other times it could be a seal. You know, what is it? I mean, I think the ocean's a really great choice. I think any kind of, you know, animal that lives in the ocean just lends itself well to the Suit of Cups, and it has got that feeling of, you know, completeness and safety, and, you know, there's that emotionality with the card. It's just, what animal is it? And Strength card. According to the guidebook, this is a Hercules beetle. I thought it was a rhinoceros beetle. I don't know a lot about beetles, but I just think that's a good choice. It is a really different choice to what you'd normally see. Like, you'd normally imagine it to be, you know, an elephant or a lion or, you know, any sort of really big type of animal, but having an insect like the Hercules beetle. I think for me it just taps into that extra layer of, you know, that strength comes in different forms. You can be tiny but mighty. Small things can move great mountains, and all that type of sentiment. I just think it's a good choice. And the Queen of Cups, very much between worlds, very intuitive, very emotional. You know, the card feels peaceful and calm and welcoming, and that wisdom there as well. I think that's a good choice with beautiful blue whale. Four of Cups with the Hermit crab. It's just such a cute way of saying no. No more choices. No, leave me alone. Stop distracting me. You've got gazelles for the Five of Wands. It's like everyone's just testing their boundaries and seeing how far they can push things. They're not really trying to do any damage, but it's just like really undirected conflict. That's, yeah, it's a good choice of animal for that particular card. I like that one. And the beavers with the Eight of Pentacles. I can't recall any exact facts about beavers recently, but recently I saw a documentary, and it was about how long it takes beaver babies, you know, to learn how to do particular tasks. And yeah, there's a hell of a lot of trial and error and practice, and you can only imagine that building dams must be, you know, something you really have to master. So I think, yeah, beavers, good choice for that card. Very nice. Okay, so as far as Brad's score goes, I think this is probably like another, I want to say an 8 deck, like an 8 out of 10, but I feel like it might just be a little bit more of a 7. Not so much that he hasn't chosen well, it's just I think I'm giving away the 8s a bit too freely. And I wish they didn't have a border. I would love to see them borderless. I love how you can see the canvas underneath. That's just beautiful. I really relate to some of the choices of animals, and then at the same time I'm kind of annoyed that it wasn't, that process wasn't followed all the way throughout the guidebook, because I really want to get inside the head of an artist. Like, part of the reason why I like to buy independently published decks is that I like to get as many people's perspective as possible on the tarot, and I can't really, you know, build on that knowledge as well if I don't know what the person was thinking. And the guidebook really is quite small. Like, I don't even know how many pages it is, because it doesn't actually say how many pages there are, but it is quite basic. Like, tell me about the artist, tell me about the deck creator. Like, I want to know about you. There's a couple of spreads in here, but they're not unique to this deck. You know, they're pretty much what you would find anywhere. There's a 3-card spread, there's a Celtic cross spread, you know, a calendar spread and all that kind of stuff, which is great if you're just reading tarot for the first time. But I think most people would probably be familiar with those, you know, spreads already. Like, if you're buying an independent deck, I kind of want to, you know, just use like a spread that you've designed for this particular deck, you know? So I'm definitely a big fan. I really am quite a big fan. I love the card backs. I love that it's gilded. I love the majority of the artwork. I love many of the animal correspondences that I have seen so far. I just wish it was just a little bit more. So 7 out of 10. I think it's great. Brad did amazingly, but I just want more. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. I truly have no idea when the next mystery deck video will be uploaded, because I really don't know when another deck is coming. I know that Brad's got a couple of things on the go, but the whispers I've heard around, you know, the tarot land is that quite a few decks are delayed at the moment. So, you know, who knows when whatever he's bought will actually arrive. So fingers crossed it won't be too long before I can do another video. And I guess if too much time goes past and we start to get, you know, towards Christmas and I haven't had another video, I might just be like, hey babe, can you like buy me a mass produced deck, you know? So I've got something to unbox. Like, hey babe. We'll see if he'll do that. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and again, if you haven't already, I'd love you to subscribe. I'd love you to give this video a thumbs up or leave a comment below, especially if you have this deck. I would love to hear what your thoughts are as well. And if you have also done an unboxing or a review, please share that with me below. And until next time, have a lovely day, week, month, whatever it ends up being, and I'll speak to you again real soon. Bye!